Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something that can seriously level up your goal setting?
Always up for that?
Awesome. Today we're all about SMART goals.
Love it.
And our source material is this really interesting article from Medium from November 2024.
Okay.
It's called How to Set Smart Business Goals to Drive Growth.
Interesting.
And it's super relevant to everyone,
Yeah,
even if you're not running a business or anything like that.
I can see that.
Because, the author actually talks about
Yeah.
how they first started using this framework in their personal life
Oh, that's cool.
and struggled with it at first.
Yeah.
They were trying to apply these business ideas
Right.
to their personal goals.
I feel that.
Yeah. And it wasn't really working.
I think that's where a lot of us get tripped up, right?
Totally.
We have these big aspirations,
Yeah.
and we're like, okay, but how?
Exactly. It's like having this amazing destination in mind,
Yeah.
but no directions to get there.
Mm.
So that's where SMART goals come in.
Okay, break it down for me.
All right. So SMART stands for
Okay.
specific, measurable, achievable, relevant,
Hmm.
and time-bound.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems pretty simple, though, on the surface.
Right.
Is that it?
Well, yeah, the acronym itself is simple,
Right.
but the power comes from understanding,
Yeah.
like why each of those elements actually matters.
Okay, I'm with you.
So let's start with specific.
Okay, specific.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
The article gave a great example,
Okay.
like saying increase sales is a goal.
Okay, sure.
That's super vague,
Way
right?
too broad.
Yeah, but increase sales of what? By how much?
Exactly.
So their smart version of that goal was
Okay.
increase sales of our online subscription service by 15% over
Mhm.
the next quarter.
Wow, that's a lot more specific.
Right.
Yeah,
It's night and day.
totally. And it really forces you to define what success actually looks like.
Yeah.
Not just the what, but like you said, the how much and by when. Otherwise, it's like trying to hit a target that keeps moving.
Ooh, I like that.
Super frustrating.
Yeah.
And that's what vague goals do to us, I think.
And it's not just for teams either, right?
Yeah.
Like even if you're working on a personal goal,
Mm-hmm.
having that clarity keeps you on track.
Totally.
So you're not constantly second guessing yourself.
Exactly.
Like, am I making progress or not?
I feel like we've all been there.
Totally.
And speaking of progress, that takes us to measurable.
Okay. Measurable.
This one's crucial because without it, you're
Yeah.
just guessing.
You're just hoping for the best?
Right, exactly. You're just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Exactly.
The article used the example of gain 500 new email subscribers
Okay.
by the end of the month.
Oh, okay.
That's something you can actually count.
Yeah.
See that number going up.
Track your progress.
Exactly. And, if you're on pace or not.
I feel like it's like choosing a destination,
Okay.
but having absolutely no idea how many miles are left to drive.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Or if you're even going in the right direction.
And the author admitted that,
Yeah.
like they tried improving customer engagement as a goal.
Oh, wow.
But how do you even measure that?
Right? It's so vague.
It's no wonder they felt lost.
That's a trap I think we all fall into at some point.
Yeah.
You might feel really busy.
Right.
But busy doesn't always equal effective.
Yeah.
And that actually brings up a question for you listening.
Ooh, I like this.
How are you currently measuring progress on your
That's
goals?
a good one.
Numbers don't lie,
That's true.
even if we sometimes wish they did.
All right. So next up we have achievable.
Okay. Achievable. This one feels a little tricky.
Yeah. Because we want to dream big.
Of course.
We don't want to limit ourselves.
Exactly, but we also don't want to set ourselves up to fail.
Yeah. Like, how do you find that balance?
Right. That's the key. It's not about limiting yourself.
Okay.
It's about being strategic.
I like that.
So the source contrasts this really ambitious goal.
Okay.
Triple our annual revenue in 1 month,
Okay. That's ambitious.
which is probably unrealistic for most businesses,
Yeah.
with a more achievable goal, like
Right.
increase our annual revenue by 25%
Okay.
within the next year by launching a new product line.
That's still ambitious,
Yeah,
but it's grounded in reality.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the author actually shared that when they set these crazy high targets, their team actually got burnt out.
Yeah, I could see that.
And they ended up missing the mark anyway.
It's like setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah, and that's where the psychology of goal setting comes in.
Right.
Because achievable goals actually fuel motivation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Think about that dopamine rush you get
Yeah.
when you check something off your to-do list.
I love that feeling.
Right. It feels good, and that feeling keeps you going.
Totally.
But when goals are too lofty, we skip that whole reward cycle.
We don't get those little wins.
Exactly, and we end up feeling discouraged.
So what resonates with you about this whole achievable aspect?
That's a good question.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, well, for me, I think it's about giving yourself permission to dream big,
Okay.
but then breaking those big dreams down into steps
Yeah.
that you can actually tackle.
Manageable steps.
Exactly. It's like running a marathon.
Okay. Yeah.
If you only focus on the finish line, it can feel impossible.
It's overwhelming.
Right. But if you break it down
Yeah.
into weekly mileage goals, it suddenly feels a lot more manageable.
I love that analogy.
And you know what? That actually segues perfectly into relevant.
Okay. Relevant. What do we got?
It's about making sure that your goals actually align
Aligned with what?
with the bigger picture.
With your overall mission.
Exactly. Otherwise, you're just spinning your wheels.
Just wasting energy.
Exactly. Effort doesn't equal results.
Yeah.
If you're not heading in the right direction.
That's so true.
The Source had this great example. They compared the goal of host a weekly webinar unrelated to our main products
Okay.
versus develop a monthly webinar series
Okay.
that educates customers on using our software more effectively.
Ooh, I see the difference.
Right. One builds the business.
Yeah.
The other is just noise.
Just busy work.
Exactly. And you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
The author actually shared this story
Oh, I love stories.
about how they poured tons of work
Yeah.
into this project that didn't really fit with their core offerings.
Oh, no.
All that effort led basically nowhere
Yeah.
because it wasn't relevant to their main goals.
What a good reminder, though.
Yeah.
To be mindful of where we invest our energy.
Yeah, sometimes saying no is the smartest thing you can do.
That's hard.
It is.
Okay, we are on to our final piece of the SMART puzzle.
Let's do it.
Time-bound.
Time-bound. Okay.
This one seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, deceptively so.
Right. Because without a deadline,
Mm-hmm.
even the best intentions can just languish on our to-do list forever.
Totally. It's like telling yourself you'll clean the garage someday
Yeah.
versus actually scheduling it for next Saturday morning.
I know which one's going to happen.
Exactly. One gets done the other.
Never happens.
Yeah.
So the source's example for this one was
Uh.
increase website traffic by 20% over the next 6 months.
Okay. I like it.
Boom. Deadline set.
You got it.
And the author said that adding those time constraints
Yeah.
was a game changer for their business.
I bet.
It forced action and accountability.
That sense of urgency is what gets us moving.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's not just this vague intention floating around in our heads.
Yeah.
It's a concrete commitment
Yeah.
that we're more likely to follow through on.
This is resonating so much with me.
Really?
Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate to having these goals that just kind of linger in the background.
Right.
Never really making any progress on them.
And they just kind of stay there.
So we've covered each element of SMART.
We did it.
We went deep. Where do we go from here?
That's a great question. Well, remember how the author Olivia was talking about starting with those super vague goals?
Yeah.
Well, the article actually walks through her whole transformation.
Oh, cool.
She took that vague goal, grow our social media following.
Right, which we know is way too broad.
Way too broad.
Not smart at all.
Nope. And she turned it into this SMART goal powerhouse.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
All right, so get this. Her SMART version was
Okay.
increase our Instagram following by 20%
Okay.
from 10,000 to 12,000
Right.
by the end of Q1
Okay.
through a mix of targeted ads, collaborations, and consistent posting of engaging content.
Whoa.
Right.
That's amazing.
It's like a total SMART girl makeover.
Every single element is in there.
Subtle, clear.
So clear.
It's like a masterclass in turning a wish into a plan.
Yeah.
And Olivia really highlighted how this level of detail was key
Okay.
to actually seeing results.
Makes sense. No more guessing games.
Just focused action.
Love it. Okay. But
Yeah.
even with a perfect SMART goal,
Yeah.
we all need a little help sometimes. Right?
Oh, for sure.
The article had these bonus tips
Oh, yeah.
for making these goals actually work.
Those are so good.
Yeah, I loved them.
So helpful.
For the first one was
Okay.
breaking down goals into smaller steps.
Yes. Because even a SMART goal can feel overwhelming
Totally.
if we don't know where to start.
It's like that marathon analogy again.
Oh, yeah.
If you only focus on the finish line,
Right.
it's daunting.
It's terrifying.
But if you break it down
Yeah.
into those weekly mileage goals,
That's more manageable.
suddenly it feels doable.
Exactly. And speaking of adapting,
Okay.
that was their second tip.
Okay.
Because life throws curveballs, right?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
We need to check in on our progress,
Right.
see what's working, what's not,
Mm.
and be willing to adjust course.
This one really resonated with me
Yeah.
because I used to get so fixated on the initial plan
Okay.
that any little setback felt like a failure.
Oh, I feel that.
But learning to be flexible has been huge,
Yeah. It's such a valuable skill
especially in today's world.
where things are constantly changing.
Right, exactly. That rigid mindset
Mm-hmm.
just sets us up for disappointment.
Totally. And their last tip
Okay,
was my favorite.
okay, I'm ready.
Celebrate milestones.
Oh, yes.
Who doesn't love a little celebration?
It makes things fun.
Exactly.
And honestly, it's like a reminder that we're capable of making progress.
Yes.
Those small wins add up.
They do.
It's like those level up moments in a video game.
Yes.
They keep you motivated to keep playing.
Totally. So we've gone deep on each part of SMART.
We get it?
We've seen it in action with Olivia's example,
Yeah, her transformation is amazing.
and we even got some extra tips.
Those bonus tips were gold.
So what's the big takeaway for our listeners today?
That's a great question.
I'm full of them.
I think for me, it's realizing that SMART goals
Yeah.
aren't just some fancy business jargon.
Right.
They're a roadmap that anyone can use.
Anyone.
Whether you're aiming for a promotion, launching a side hustle,
Yeah.
or just trying to get your life organized.
I love that. And what's cool is
Yeah.
the source focused on business.
Right.
But Olivia's story showed how she applied this to her personal life, too.
That's so powerful.
It is.
It's really about taking control
Mm-hmm.
and creating the life you want.
Absolutely. So no more vague resolutions.
Yeah.
No more wishful thinking.
It's time to embrace SMART goals.
Let's do it.
See what we can achieve. But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I'm curious, what's one area where you think our listener could apply this right now?
That's a good one.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Just diving into this episode has me thinking about a few areas in my own
I
life
feel that.
where I could use a little more smartness.
Yeah, totally. And Olivia actually mentioned in the article
Right.
that switching to SMART goals completely changed her approach to business.
Oh, wow.
She went from feeling constantly reactive,
Okay.
like she was always putting out fires, to being proactive and in control.
I love that.
It's powerful.
It's like going from running on a hamster wheel
Right.
to actually steering the ship.
Exactly. You're in the driver's seat.
And, it's not just about achieving external results either.
No, totally.
There's something about setting SMART goals
Mhm.
that just makes you feel more confident and capable.
Yes,
Even if those goals are super personal
I agree.
and nobody else even knows about them.
Yeah, it's that feeling of taking ownership of your life
Right?
instead of just letting things happen to you.
So powerful.
It is that sense of agency is huge.
Okay, so if our listener is out there thinking,
Yeah.
all right, I'm convinced SMART goals are awesome,
hmm
but where do I even begin?
That's the question, right?
What would you say?
Well, I'd say start with that one area you just mentioned.
Yeah.
That one goal that's been kind of nagging at you.
Yeah.
One you keep putting off or feeling stuck on.
We all have those.
Maybe it's finishing that passion project you've been dreaming about. Or finally learning that new skill.
Right.
Or even something as simple as organizing that chaotic closet we all have.
The closet monster.
Right, exactly. This
Oh.
isn't about adding more to your plate.
Right.
It's about making the things you already care about happen.
I love that. And I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I agree. So to everyone listening, ditch those vague resolutions
Yeah.
and embrace the power of SMART goals.
You heard it here?
You might just surprise yourself with what you can achieve.
That's it for our deep dive into the world of SMART goals. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, happy goal setting.